thought it was impossible to love somebody this much.
Welcome to the Special Cloth Talk Podcast.
So glad to be.
Shout out my boy Omar.
Shout out Omar, man, for the hit. This is definitely a hit.
Hit single.
Feelings. Oh, his long anticipated album.
24 hours away from you is just too long. Listen, baby. Even though you drive me crazy, I'm crazy about you.
You got Frank over there. You got it's me, Jay Green with the green, or whatever other nicknames I got. I got like a million of them.
And our lovely Malaya Monica Doors.
Monica Doors. Government's galore. One more time.
The last 4 digits of our social, 45379.
That is actually pretty valid, folks.
That was actually 5 digits, but that's beside the point.
We gave an extra number for fun.
Alright. So yeah, this is the Special Cloth Talk Podcast. I'm your co-host, Frank Corsi. And you know,
this is just a podcast telling you the adventures of our adventures through Rutgers, Camden, or Rutgers, Newark. Y'all need to know the location. just know we're in college. That's all y'all need to know. Don't worry about the location too much.
Yeah, I mean, and some of it is misadventures because not all of us are doing so well. I'm drowning like A Boogie in these grades, but
I'm out here living my life like it's golden, like I'm Jill Scott.
How about you, Malaya? How's your college life going?
I'm just barely treading the water. It's going. I'm ready for next semester.
I can't think of a song, and now I'm going to go with that one. That'll be helpful.
But we're going to let you fly, sis. We're going to let you fly.
I'm going to let you live your best life.
Okay, so Special Cloth Talk is about our adventures through college, motivation, tips about our very life.
What's
our
that
daily
regular
life.
talking? They go, "Hello, you have mesothelioma." Like,
if you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma. All right, but anyways, so it's going to be about our college experience, tips, helpful tips that we can help navigate through our college lives and yours as well, viable solutions, for motivation and, just social conversations. And we're also going to talk about social issues and, just whatever we want to. It's just a real casual conversation with you guys and us, and we'll take as much feedback and, any support that you guys can give. Mm-hmm. Now we're just going to jump on right into it. First of all, Joshua, how was your day, bro?
I've had this weird, you ever had one of those headaches that's strictly behind your eyes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I've been messing with one of those, but besides that, it's been alright. How your day been, bro?
I mean, I had to drag Miss Daisy all around planet Earth because, her car is broken. Shout out my grandma.
Shout out Grammy in the cut. How your day been, Malaya?
It was bad because I haven't had a chance to nap properly, but otherwise, it's going.
It's not winter time, can't hibernate, but.
I control the air horn. Don't tell me when the air horn. I know when the air horn.
All right, well, I'm going to start with giving a brief bio about myself. My name is Frank Corsi. I was born in Gloria James. I'm 6'5", 250, raised in Akron, Ohio. Cleveland, this is for you. But real talk though, I'm a college student. And
what is wrong? I just got done drinking my water. What's wrong? What you walk out wearing the Gloria James? What's wrong with you?
I'm a college student and an inspiring entrepreneur. I'm a basketball enthusiast, and I'm also a suburban dude. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much all that there is to know about me. How about you, Josh?
I go to college. At the Miami Heat, we're kind of trash right now, but it's alright. We gonna pull through. Shout out my people, man.
Joshua also neglect to mention that his name is Glenn Davis.
Yeah. Shut up. Go, Malaya, can we get a bio about you since you want to sit up there on your phone? You always want to snatch somebody else's phone.
Freaking millennials, man.
Malaya, how was you first off, how was your day? Since you barely answered it. You He's like, I didn't have a
I
nap.
didn't do anything today. Y'all were late.
And
Which
y'all,
threw off my
Y'all.
sleeping schedule because I didn't get to sleep because y'all made me think y'all were coming at a certain time.
you
y'all
do not
did
receive a text back
Y'all did
within
not.
an hour. For one, you already told me that you all was asleep, so don't include me.
I
in this
can't
show.
sleep at night. I would have been able to sleep during the day, which is when I usually sleep, but y'all was on y'all roll, but that's okay. And
Miss me with that bullshit.
I took a shower. I shaved today, so that's
Silky
always
smooth.
a great feeling. Feeling like a hot dog. And yeah, that's really about it. That's all I did today. I was supposed to do some homework, but I'm taking a break because I deserve it. So yeah.
That's not what your professor said, but okay. So moving right along. So the quote of the day: "Your mind is fertile soil. Whatever you plant will grow." To me, that pretty much means that what you expose yourself to and what you let in your life is what's going to manifest. If you expose yourself to negativity, then negativity is going to grow because that's the seeds that you plant. That's the seeds you're going to harvest.
I'm your face. What you got, Carol, the podcast? But not ever reach in my pocket again for you. I don't care if it's your phone. You stay off your phone.
All right, so yeah, so if you let positive things manifest, then positive seeds are good.
He's trying to transition.
I hate my friends. But yeah, so how do you guys feel about that quote?
I think that it's all about also your surroundings, what you try to surround yourself with. All of that stuff influences the type of person you want to become. So if you want to be successful, you're going to try people because it's learned habits. You learn habits subconsciously as well as consciously. So you could be around a group of people and say, oh, you'll never turn out like them or you'll never pick up the type of habits that they have. However...
Oh no, baby.
You can, because subconsciously, if you're around something all the time.
All I'm hearing from you is subconsciously. What about consciously, Malaya?
Consciously, you make the decision of who you want to be around and who you want to surround yourself with.
Are you familiar with the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you hang around?
Yes, I'm very familiar with it, and I believe that can be true, but with all philosophies, there's a flaw. Because,
Exception to every rule.
Everybody, there's plenty of killers, drug dealers everywhere in the world. Everybody in the world ain't a killer and drug dealer, you know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
That's only logical sense. Every philosophy has its flaw, but to an extent it is very true because you just tend to pick up their habits whoever you're around. Whether that's the good ones or the bad ones, that's up to you and whatever type of habits they have. But it's not completely untrue to say that you won't pick up somebody's habits. If I said that right, I got lost in the words.
How do you feel about the saying that your mind is fertile soil? Whatever you plant will grow, Joshua.
That's true. Same. Like whatever we think of obviously thought can transition as you mature. But a lot of the times, like when people don't have proper etiquette, like opening candy when somebody's trying to talk, like they see and they just tend to get worse and worse. See, and you guys don't know, you guys can't hear the rappers, which I doubt very much that y'all don't. Malaya has very zero etiquette, even though she went to etiquette school and she told everybody. So I don't know where them years of training went, but
down the toilet.
All
right, now the title of this episode is called "Get Out of Your Own Way," and a lot of times we fall short in staying true to helpful habits that'll help us develop as people. And at times you can become your own worst enemy to productivity.
Yeah.
So how do you? Them Jones is clean, all white G Bezos. But how do you feel about how we get in our own way, or what are some solutions that can help us get around that? But I'll just dive in. Go ahead, young lady.
I think we get in our own way because we doubt ourselves and Yeah, we doubt ourselves and what we're capable of. So we stop ourselves from accomplishing things before we even have the chance to start them or try it. And I think that's fair. Like, you don't know what's going to happen unless you take that leap of faith. And because we're humans, and one of the powerful things about us is we get to think and be aware of what we're doing. It also stops us from doing.
Could you take a little bit more of a deep dive in that? Could you give me an example?
So, for example, bears. I don't know why bears are coming to my head. BEARS, like the animal.
Bears?
Yeah.
What? She said it. Bears. And then went, the animal. What animal? What is she talking about?
Anyway, so bears, whatever, however you say it. They know that they have to eat, right?
Yeah.
We also know that we have to eat.
Yeah.
Bears don't really spend time deciding.
I'm sorry, what?
Bears don't really spend time deciding. Stop, nigga! Bears don't really spend time deciding what they feel like eating today. That's the power of being a human, but also something that keeps us back, because at the end of the day, eat. You know, it's just a requirement to live. Why we gotta spend time thinking about what we're gonna eat?
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay. So apply that to something different.
Like beer.
Like getting ourselves
Beers.
dressed every day.
Like beers. Okay, right? What's the next topic?
Alright, so you don't get a refund on wasted time. So in order to succeed, you need to maximize your time and your productivity. So,
You live in a nightmare. but for those of you who don't know, when starting up something, you go through test trials. And I've heard that topic so many times. It feels like I'm reliving a nightmare. It's like, are we gonna post this one? I hope we do. I hope you guys hear my little monologue about reliving a nightmare. MONOLOUGE.
Lindenwold Public Education, folks. Lindenwold Public Education. Mr. Brandt, where you at?
What is it?
MONOLAUGE.
It's just the A, bro. It's just the A. I ain't taking the L for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, his dad's an English professor.
I mean, who cares though? Who cares?
Alright, so how do you feel about, you're not getting a refund on time?
Like it's true. Or no?
Yeah.
You don't, like, in the simplest form, it is the truest thing that you don't get a refund. Once you wasted your hour doing nothing, you don't get that hour back. You don't just say, you know what, I should have spent the hour doing this. So let me go take the hour back of nothing and go do something. It's just gone. All you gotta do, you just gotta be able to look at yourself, analyze what you did, and make better decisions moving forward.
I respect that. I stand with that. I stand. So to me, it's just like, you only get 24 hours in a day, So it's just like, you get the same amount of time as The Rock, the same amount of time as Oprah, the same amount of time as Jay-Z. So, wow, that's very provocative, but okay. Weird flex.
Excuse me, this is a public podcast.
All right.
Nothing was provocative.
But anyways, so you only have 24 hours in a day, so like you have to make the most of it. And a lot of times, our habits always come against us. You know what I'm saying? Like our vices, our wrong activities, our distractions will always eat away at our productivity. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you will regret, the time that you spent wasted. You know what I mean? Because you'll reflect on the end of your day, and if you did not accomplish any of your short-term goals, boom, you're like, what did I do with my day? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's kind of painful. So
I have to disagree with that.
okay.
Because
What's your point?
I feel like
I ain't agree with all that.
I feel like it's important to obviously set short-term goals and everything, but it's also really important that you don't beat yourself up about not accomplishing those. Because, first of all, Your life was written for you before you even started it.
Talk to him.
So it's like certain things happen and you don't understand why because you're in that moment. But just because I didn't accomplish a short-term goal that I had for the day,
Both her parents gotta be pastors.
doesn't mean that you can't like either start the next day or just start later on in the day. Sometimes you think that your goal is supposed to happen when you think it's supposed to happen, and it's not, and that's okay.
Wow, this just sounds like an infomercial for somebody that is drowning in self-pity and self-doubt. It's like, nah, I'm just playing.
Mr. Corsi, we're gonna vote you off because I can't do this anymore.
Oh, so you think this is lost? This is an island? You just gonna vote me off the island?
Yeah.
Listen to me. That ain't no problem.
Yeah.
See, so look, check this out. I'm gonna have to disagree with your disagreement because check me out.
At this point, you want to play.
I don't want to play. I'm keeping it real with you.
Talk to him.
You obviously,
What you want to do?
wow, right now there's physical abuse going on in the bar. Yeah, I can't see it right now, but Malaya's getting, whoa! All right.
Yeah.
I saw a slap.
So why would he be narrating the domestic violence stuff? There's no point where you pause and call 911 and I saw a slap. Thank you.
But I said it'd be posted like 3 hours later. It's too late after this, after everybody finds out.
All right, but anyway, so in my opinion, it's just like
Just gotta fly. And just gotta fly. You know?
all I'm saying is just like you can be as spontaneous with your day if you want to, but at the end of the day, if you didn't accomplish any of your short-term goals and like you didn't do anything like you were supposed to with your life, and you allowed distractions to do you in and to take over, then that's a waste of a day. And you have the same 20 hours as P. Diddy.
24.
24.
I don't know. Nah, them extra 4 hours. P. Diddy got all that money. He bought them extra 4 hours.
But when he was broke and he used to eat ice cube sandwiches, do you think Rosa Parks had a fancy coat and Louis Vuitton when she was in the back of the bus to freedom? All I'm saying is we have the capability and the potential to be as incredible and go as far as we want in life. But sometimes we're just holding ourselves back.
I think we can hold ourselves back, but also if opportunity is not given, then you cannot take advantage of it.
Okay.
So
but what about when you don't give yourself the opportunity because you're getting in your own way and you're not being productive and you're watching YouTube channels about Sharkeisha No. And you're on Netflix watching 13 Reasons Why and 13 Reasons Why aren't you writing your paper? 13 Reasons Why didn't you call out of work today? You know what I'm saying?
What?
I mean, 13 Reasons Why did you call out of work today? You know what I mean? So
all I'm trying to promote is I agree with you. You have to hold yourself accountable. But there's also that part that you need to relax. Like, your brain, your body, your spirit, everything is constantly going, okay? So it's alright if you're having a down day, a down week, a down month.
I'm a down month.
It's okay to take a break. You don't have to be perfect every day. You don't have to be...
Let me ask you something. You think Harriet Tubman took a down month to freedom? Okay, I'm sorry. That's a quick sidebar, but go ahead.
I'm just saying that. Having a down month doesn't necessarily mean that you fall into a depression or you go into a certain thing. But having a down month means that you're not following the linear pattern that society forces you to have all the time. Like, having a down month can mean I'm going to take this time to pause on everything. Like, I was in the prosecutor's office and I was reading a magazine and it was talking about how this lady, she had an amazing job at like one of New York Times like best fashion articles, and she had a family and she had like 2 kids and she had just like, the perfect life, the life that everyone wishes. Having your dream job, having a husband and kids, blah blah, having a dog and a cat, whatever. And she left her job at the highest position. You know what she did for a year?
What?
She went and did basket weaving.
Well, she must have a pretty good job.
She basket weaved. No, she ran out of money. She had to call her dad. He had to give her some money. Her husband had to give her some money.
Must be nice to get a small loan of $1 million.
But she took a break. And as silly as it may seem that she took a break to go basket weaving, that's what she may have needed for her sanity. 1 year out of your whole life for yourself.
Sounds incredible. I'm not saying that you have to be some mindless drone that has a humdrum lifestyle of productivity, because if you focus too much on productivity, it can be anti-productive. It can be unproductive, because you're trying to live your life in such a, drilling and like militant way, and it's going to have its toll on you. I absolutely agree that you deserve to have a break. All I'm saying is that comes a point in time that sometimes you yourself can be detrimental to your own self-development, is all I'm saying. And I'm using my main self as an example of this because I know I'm not living up to my potential in some ways. I'm living my best life. Being lazy, not going to the gym, not managing my time right, not following my work schedule, not following my schedule in the classroom, and just not holding up and ending up being to par. Now, there's plenty of distractions that I put on the forefront instead of the back burner, while I put priorities to the back burner, and that's not okay. So all I'm saying is just like in our young age, in our early our late teens and our early 20s, like these are the years that we have to have our head down and we just move forward and we get done and put in work, because if we put in work and we keep on moving, the fruits of our labor are going to show. They are. Like, we're going to be so far ahead in life.
Stop! It hurt my heart.
The only way that we can be better than everybody else or be different than everybody else is if we don't do what everybody else does.
I just want to keep record that Josh just stopped me to the ground. Like,
okay.
Like this is New York.
I was simply chilling, listening to the riveting conversation. And she smacked the back of my knee. Everybody who's been smacked in the back of the knee knows how irritating that is.
Okay, but you didn't have the curve stop, shorty.
I didn't really give over stop.
I had to do what I had to do.
just spoke over it. Like,
I mean, hey, the show must go on. All right, so basically, I want to know this from you, Malaya. Are you more of a long-term planner or a short-term planner?
I used to be a long-term planner, and now I've turned to a short-term planner. I have my life planned out pretty well. Like, I know that in the next 8 years, I'm gonna be a lawyer. I know that not only will I be a lawyer, but I want to study child trafficking and child molestation. Not only do I want to do that, but I know that I want to be married one day. I know that I want to have kids one day. I don't have a timeline on that stuff. But I kind of have a pretty solid idea of what I'm doing in my life right now. I gave up on having that perfect future. And not saying that I no longer am working toward that goal. I'm saying that I'm also really focusing on living day to day. Because I get very anxious and nervous about what's coming next in my life. I freak out when I don't know what's next. I freak out when I feel like I'm losing control over situations. And it's okay. Like, breathe and just think about something way smaller. Like, what do you want to eat? Just relax.
Yeah.
And then
girls can never decide where they want to eat or what they want to eat. I'll be like, Malaya, where you want to go eat at?
I don't know what it is, but that is true. But point of the matter is, what I'm trying to say is, I have become a short-term planner, goaler, whatever you want to call it.
I like that funny word.
Because
funny word.
It just has become better for my mental health.
How about you, Josh? Are you more of a long-term planner or are you a short-term planner?
To be completely honest with you, I would say a long-term.
You don't plan shit.
Oh, where's the horn at?
Can we cut out the cursing, please? This is a family podcast. As I was saying,
hope your family knows you curb stopped a female, but
yeah, at that end.
Let's just keep that on record.
Wow. So
That's not even no first submission there.
Wow. Okay. So we got a punk snitch over here. Okay. So what was I saying? I would say long term. I feel like I'm definitely not short term planning because I just have a end goal, and I just figure out how I'm gonna reach it on the way.
So, would you say for your more minuscule goals, do you feel like they're getting accomplished as you go through each long-term goal?
Not always, but the absolutely necessary ones that I figure out that are absolutely necessary always do get accomplished.
Outstanding.
Necessary to what? Like what you want for yourself, or
Yes.
necessary? Okay.
Yes. All right. Reminds me of the waiter from last night. Can I have some?
Yeah. I gotta go.
Yeah, that was funny. Okay, but anyways, I feel like I'm more of a long-term planner. However, I don't always follow through with that. Like literally, I have my whole week, hour by hour, minute by minute, all planned out, and I don't seem to utilize that schedule as much as I should. I noticed that when I do follow a set schedule, hour by hour, for the whole week, that I'm more productive and that a lot more things get done. And not only do they all get done, but it's easier on my mental because it's less to stress about because everything is accomplished. I feel good, and it gives me more confidence. And it allows me to realize that, wow, these things weren't as overwhelming as I thought they were because like, I can accomplish them. Like, it's too easy.
Too easy.
So, that's pretty much how I am. But I feel like, it's more viable for me personally to attack short-term goals one at a time.
You are attacking short girls. What's up on me assaulting people? I'm gonna turn a lot, folks.
Alright, so I think I should attack short-term goals. Excuse me, Miss Purdett. Excuse me, Miss Purdett. But because that way, I'll develop confidence in my capability to attack my typically far-fetched long-term goals. And that will just give me the momentum to, tackle anything, So that's one method that I'm experimenting with. So what do you guys feel about the YOLO mentality? Like, Malaya, let me give you a scenario. You have a friend who is deciding that, oh my God, they go from one extreme to the next, and they decide to get YOLO tattooed on their forehead. Are you still going to hang around that person?
Sure will.
And why is that?
Because one, they're my friend before they decide to make that decision for themselves. Number two, as crazy as it may sound, people usually do have some type of reasoning for the things that they do, and no one's really obligated to explain anything to you. No one owes you anything. So if they got YOLO on their forehead, yes, I can ask them why did you decide to do that. Yes, they can share partially why, but that should not be the reason I determine not to be around them or not be their friend. I mean, personally, the phrase means you only live once. You never know what type of experiences that they've had or what times they've went through where they held themselves back. And that's a reminder that they chose to put on their forehead. Would I put that on my forehead? No. But is that my body? No. My body, my choice, people. My body, my choice. So, yeah, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Okay. Joshua, how do you feel about that?
1,010% no.
And why is that?
This, for one, I feel like having it, like, it's just not a smart thing to have YOLO tatted on your forehead. Like, why? Like, it's
like
no,
21 Savage tat right in the middle of the eye.
Like, okay, if something happened and like you wanna, like, I don't know, like you wanna move forward, or like that's you putting your best step forward, putting a tattoo of YOLO on your forehead. And no, I'm not gonna be around because this went along with the conversation that we've already discussed.
Why you gotta keep telling them that? They're supposed to be fresh.
What are we talking about? We had the discussion in this podcast.
You mean like right now?
We've had it on this one, right?
No.
Yes. About discussing the people who you hang around with. How does that affect you?
Yes.
Oh yes, we do.
Yeah, so as we are discussing, see, that's why she get curves on, folks.
Now he's
So-
on my neck, like.
So, like, what was I saying? Like, you act like the people that you're around and they affect your behavior, you know? And that's dumb behavior. That's dumb behavior to me. Why would I hang around somebody with a YOLO tattooed on their forehead if I think that's dumb? Like, sure, have whatever you want on your body. That's your life decision. Do you, bro? Like, cool. Like, good for you. But I'm not doing that to me because I personally think that's stupid. Like,
They didn't say you had to do that to you. That wasn't the question. The question was, would you be around someone who had that tattoo? Your answer was no, because you wouldn't do that to you.
I wouldn't do that to me, and I wouldn't want people who I hang around with to think that that's like good behavior or good actions. Like, why would you want to be around somebody who goes, I want to have YOLO
Why
tatted
would
on my
I be around
forehead?
somebody whose whose Snapchat name is Josh with the box? That doesn't determine everything about you. It doesn't.
Okay.
A forehead tat does
Mind you.
determine a lot about you. This is not a Snapchat name. We're discussing a tattoo.
You don't have to
On
let
your
people know you put
forehead.
the box on your Snapchat name.
Now I have to punch her in her face.
We do not advocate domestic violence on this podcast.
I don't know what the world is. We talk. I advocate whatever I advocate. I'm Kevin. I don't advocate for domestic violence, but her, she different, folks. Y'all don't understand. Like, she over here wilding.
What did I do?
A box is a haircut.
A box is also a term for a vagina, and you know that.
I made the Snapchat when I was in like 8th grade.
There wasn't Snapchat.
Yes, there was. It's been out since
There definitely-
2009,
Who was
sweetie.
I talking to?
Okay.
There definitely was, because how did I make it?
I don't know. Your pockets are out of your
She don't even know what she's talking about. Listen, the point is
I
that
like them red boxes.
Objectifying men. Congratulations.
this has took a turn for the worst, folks, and I don't agree. I don't agree with any of this. I don't agree with any of this.
With your butt crack receiving air?
Is this trying to heat her one? It's hot in here. Like, I'm sweating.
Put your hand over the thing.
No, that's a cold. Why is it so hot
I
in
don't
here?
know. It is really hot. And you over here holding on to a fur.
Listen, regardless, the point is that I don't want to be around somebody who has your little tattoo on their forehead. If you want to, cool. That's your life decision. I personally do not want to, because I think that is a bad life decision, and I don't be around people who make bad life decisions.
Okay. Right?
Okay. Me personally, as an individual who does tend to go from one extreme to the next, I'm very patient with people, I'm a suburban dude, so I do feel like, I should give the person the benefit of the doubt. However, I feel like if somebody in my friend group made the conscious decision to get YOLO tatted on their forehead, one, they're going to couch surf in my house eventually. Because I don't know who's hiring anybody with YOLO tattooed in the middle of the forehead, like looking like they 21 Savage.
Talk to them. Anyway, at least got a knife. At least people thought it was a cross at first. I thought it was a little bit holy.
But I don't see how that would work out, because I feel like once it's going to go from YOLO tattooed on their forehead to next thing you know, they're in the world record book for becoming the lizard man. And they have 18 cosmetic surgeries and their tongue is split in half. Yeah. Like Yoshi.
At least that bringing money. That's one tattoo, a YOLO on the middle of your forehead. That's nothing. Like,
so I think just based off of this topic that it makes a smooth transition for the fact that we should focus on black community, how they manage mental health. Like, how do you feel the black community handles mental health?
Josh, what do you think?
I feel like as a generation, I'm talking my generation, we are making strides to improve the discussion and really be able to talk to people. But as in a whole, as in history-wise, it hasn't been a very real discussion. It's been a very dismissive discussion, as in you have this and that. no need for you to be depressed. You're whatever. You're alive. You're Timmy down the block. He's dead. Like, you know, you should be happy that you're alive. You know, just a lot of very dismissive points. But I feel like as in today's generation, we're making strides to really have a real discussion about how people are feeling, because we're people, and we're not blocks and who don't have emotions and who don't go through things, who aren't traumatized by certain events. So I feel like while we have made progress in discussing mental health, we are still missing out on very many points of how we feel. So
to go off of what Josh is saying, I agree. Like, I feel like people, the biggest things you hear, oh, you're alive, you should be grateful for that. Well, a lot of people are alive and they don't feel like they're living. Like, one of the scariest experiences I've ever had is feeling like I've lost myself and I can't get back to that. So you don't know how someone is feeling. You don't know if they feel like they're actually getting the most out of life. You don't know if they feel like they're even getting the smallest amount out of life. So I think especially for me, growing up in a Guyanese household and being the only child born here, it is very hard to explain to my parents when I feel anything but happiness, because I got the opportunity to go to boarding school, which I'm grateful for. I go to college, which to my parents is really important. Like, my education, doing well in school is important. And they forget that I'm also human, and I'm growing, and I'm learning, and I'm a young woman, and I have experiences. And they freak out when they hear about anything other than my grades. But it's just like, all those things help build who you are. And I think something important to remember about mental health is there's different parts that make up a human being. Like, you have your spiritual, you have your emotional, you have your physical. All those things, especially when one is really out of balance, it's really hard to feel like you're doing anything with your life. Like, so, or a lot of people, they find themselves, this goes back to what Josh was talking about, the type of people you surround yourself with. They find themselves around people and trying to walk in those people's purpose and what they're supposed to be living for. When you can't figure out what your purpose is, or you're living in a fake purpose, it's hard to keep living, because it's like, what am I doing? What's going on? And when you don't have someone supporting you, at least one person supporting you, trying to help you figure that out, it just gets worse. So I think the tools to help people, like, especially like younger people who have these mental health issues, the tools to help them talk about it is important, because otherwise they won't be able to even get 2 words out to their parents or whoever is people who support them that they need support from.
Those are very good points. How you feel about this, Frank?
Okay, so honestly, I feel like mental illness is an issue in the African American community.
Everybody will be talking to you. You gotta
shut everything everyone else said down.
Alright, now let me stop. This is very serious. But go ahead, Frank. My bad.
Yeah, because this is also personal to me as well. But healthcare for mental illness is an issue in the African American community for men, women, and adolescents. Quite frankly, because I feel like they're underserved, and the lack of mental health care providers, and the cultural stigma of having mental illness, and also the socioeconomic status of African Americans in their communities is suffering from inadequate mental health care for decades. Like, I feel like it's a deep lack of understanding about what mental illness is, and there's also barriers between, substance abuse, being impoverished, and also mass incarceration as well. And I feel like part of it starts off in the household, because, like, if you don't have a relationship with your family or your guardian, that, when you're going through changes in life and when you're going through stress in life, it's hard for you to express it. And I feel like that creates a barrier between mother and child, parent and child, and, it begins to deteriorate mental health when you feel like you're trapped. I feel like, there's just subtle signs that you can see that causes mental illness. And I also feel like the way people raise their kids sometimes too. I'm not here to, say you should raise your kids in X, Y, Z and everybody should have a way to do it. But I feel like sometimes people are too worried about discipline instead of building a relationship and a bond and emotionally nurturing their children. Like, you know, sometimes parents can be really detrimental to their child's mental health, especially at a young age, and it just continues to uproot. If you're constantly calling your child an F up, a screw up, and they can't do this and they can't do this right, and they're stupid and they're dumb, and you're badgering them in words like this at a young age, it's going to marinate in their mind. If your child is 4 years old and they're not doing good, or like they're not talking, and you're calling them dumbass and they're this and they're that is going to hurt them, especially coming from a parent figure, because your word is like law. Your word is heavy to them. It's very weighted on their hearts.
You call them a dummy Monday through Thursday, even Friday through Sunday, when you're not there, they can be like, oh, I'm a dummy all those days, and you know it messes with their mental.
And it messes with their confidence. And I feel like, you know, people are unaware of the effects of mental illness and like what mental illness can encompass. Like, mental health includes people's feelings of worth in the context of total culture, and like, you know, there's many other things that contribute to how people feel about their mental health, because it's just like, did you fart, man?
No, I just started saying.
Oh, I mean, so it's just like
no, it was like it was this thing on Twitter. He was like I thought I was depressed, and then I went to I went to go cut myself, and I went, ow, this hurt. I was like, that's when I knew I wasn't really about that depressed life.
Wow.
No, what about that meme where it was like, I asked God to remove all the toxic people from my life and my grandma.
That's crazy. That's messed up.
We were right next to each other. That can't be true. That was not the mission.
Your grandma passed for something else.
You had to lose a friend or something.
Not to death.
Oh, yo, Twitter's a wild place, but sorry.
All right, so like, just to get back on my point, like, a lot of times in the black community, I can just say this for my family too. Like, they rely on faith, spirituality, and community instead of actually seeking mental health professionals. Yeah. Like, I just say Grammy, for instance. Like, you know, she might turn to the prayer list on like 9 churches or something before she'll actually be like, well, actually that's not true, because Grammy will advocate for you going to talk to somebody. She'll look at me and she's like, stop it, get some help. So,
well, not exactly Grammy, but
you know, just like family in general, like they'll say they'll lean more to spiritual beliefs and community assets instead of trying to lean towards emotional support from a healthcare professional. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, you know, therapy and medical assistance may be necessary, and I feel like yes.
So
we're not in school.
So like, something that I've experienced which is really interesting is I went to counseling for my first time, right? And the counselor was a white woman, and the reason why I'm going to say is because it has to do with the story. So she was just like, one of the questions you get asked for your first things of counseling is, have you ever done something like this before? And I was like, no. And to her, that was so shocking that I've never had an opportunity to counsel. Get what I'm saying? Yeah. And the reason why I feel like that was so shocking to her, because I don't want to like make a super general thing, but like, my mom's a nanny and she nannies for white children, and they all have a counselor, someone they go talk to. Not necessarily something's wrong with them, but you know, an outlet, someone that's not biased and can just listen to them. And she was like, wow, like, you've never had that. I was like, no, this is my first time. And I was like, wow, everyone needs this. Like, I know that it's expensive, but if you go to college, do it. Because, or at least try it one time. Even if you think it's stupid, try it, because it's free. At least at my school. But like, I just think that it's really crazy how I have went 18 years and not had an unbiased opinion, other than like my friends. But eventually your friends become biased too, because they learn you, they learn your habits. Whereas a counselor, they're trained to, you know, keep some of that stuff away. But I don't know, I just think that as someone who has started counseling, I was like, I can't tell you how many conversations I've had growing up where people talk about counseling. I'm like, that's stupid. Like, why would you go to a counselor? And that's because I was taught that what happens to you or what happens in your house is meant to stay there. You don't need to be telling people your business. Mm-hmm. That's nobody's business. Nobody can help you. Da 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 da. But in my first session, I already felt like, wow, this is a whole new person who gets to know me. And I recommend if you do go to a counselor, you don't go to a family counselor because they like to put grandma's story and mommy's story together. And then, you know, some of them don't know how to filter through and keep your life private. But yeah, just thought that was interesting as someone who's just starting this journey.
Just to touch up on what you just said, there are racial disparities that persist in healthcare when it comes to access and to mental health professionals because, you know, a lot of African Americans tend to rely on Medicaid or public health insurance. Mm-hmm. And, you know, sometimes that it's not really encompassed by, you know, the daily checkups for mental behavior and the diagnosis. And also, too, I feel like there's a stigma and judgment in the community that makes it tougher to seek help because, such and such got this diagnosed with anxiety. Oh, stay away from him. He got problems. Mm. I don't want my kids around him. You see what I'm saying? So, like, that kind of energy is, like, manifesting in the community where it's just, like, it's frowned upon for you to have some issues.
Yeah, when everybody has them, whether they're diagnosed or not.
Small or big, like, it comes in different amounts.
And it's almost like it's a shameful fact when you seek help. You know what I mean? Because, like, let's say it's a drug problem. You know what I mean? You try to mask it and cover it up because you don't want that family embarrassment when really you should get family support. You know what I'm saying? Mm. Or really, you know, somebody should really be putting forth the effort to really get you out the hole you're in. Same thing with mental health because it's just like I know Josh is going through this situation, right? This is hypothetical, y'all.
I say I'm good, y'all.
He gonna be alright.
I'm be alright, though. Nobody text me after the podcast like, hey, Josh, I know, like, you got good lying. I know, like, nah, I'm okay, cuz don't text me.
But anyways, so, like, just say Josh is, like, going through a mental health battle right now, and I know it. You know, I'm not just gonna be like, oh, y'all, everybody stay away from Josh, yo. I heard, like, he'll start snapping on you. He'll curse you out. He'll slap you if you approach him.
I mean, let me know if people are fighting people who approach you. Let me know. I ain't judging. Just let me know. You know what I'm saying? If I go, hey, what's up? We y'all swing on me. Let me know what's popping off in the hood.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, like, so there's like a negative stigma to like somebody's going through something. Leave them alone. Or, you know. They try to, let's say the victim, the individual who's really going through the trauma right now, they'll hit you with the I'm fine, I'm okay. Yeah. Because they think that's what I'm supposed to be at all times. There's not a time where I'm not supposed to be okay. And it's okay not to be okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to seek help, to need guidance, to need spiritual assistance, to need emotional assistance, you know? So I feel like it's too long, and for too long, like, people have really been stuck in the mindset that, you know, I'm stuck and, you know, I have to be isolated and I have to get through this because I'm not allowed to be broken.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much like one of my main views about it. And like, as a person who had a mental health battle with anxiety and depression, I will say, like, it is challenging and it is really hard. However, you know, getting that help can really help you because, like, shout out Dr. Fred, who really got me at a rough time in my life and really showed me how to manage my stress and showed me outlets and showed me how, you know, to dissect my problems and help me find solutions. You know what I'm saying? And to make sure that I wasn't isolating myself from other people. So just as a quick question, like, what do you guys use as outlets for your stress when you're going through it?
Go ahead, Malaya.
I mean, go ahead, say it. If that's what it is, just say it.
Go ahead. Go ahead, sis. Folks, you want to know what she said.
I was like, don't listen to Josh. I just want to see his reaction. But, I write. I started writing again, but I write and I pray and I cry. I can cry anytime I want to cry. Like, I don't have a hard time crying, so I just cry. And I always feel better after I cry. Like, huh?
I want the fellas to know that when y'all pull up to the school about me supposedly hitting her, I want you to know that she is a fake crier.
I'm not a fake crier.
I
cry when
too late, man. We have it on record.
I cry when I'm sad. I cry when I'm angry. I cry when I'm confused. I cry for anything, and it's not because I can't control it. I don't want to say I enjoy crying. No one enjoys crying, but it feels like a release. I'm not a fighter. Like, I don't fight. And I don't take out my anger, like, physically. So that is my physical way of letting out how I feel. But,
Oh, no.
Win. Malaya, little baby.
Go ahead.
But, yeah, I just do normal stuff. I take showers. I take long.
I would hope so. I would hope so. You're grown. I'm just saying. Right now, my bad.
I take long showers and I just take time to think. And sometimes I do separate myself from people. Like, I've recently been thinking about blocking a couple people.
Do it. 6 people. First of all, to the 6
chill. You had to block. You a caller, but you had to block from this number. Like, you gotta chill.
Hold up. You know them follower apps that let you know who followed you and unfollowed you? To the 6 people who blocked me on Instagram, you can come see me, okay? If it's not directed, it's not respected.
How are they gonna see it though?
No, because like
they blocked you. They're not gonna hear the podcast. That's it.
Because you know what's crazy? You know what I noticed about people in this world? In this hateful, evil world? This is what I noticed. It be the same people who want you to fail that endorse you when you start succeeding. When I'm doing good and I'm bossing up and I'm doing great in life, don't come looking for me. Don't come hitting me up talking about, oh man, I heard you doing good, bro. Congratulations. I don't want your fake congratulations. You can keep it. You can keep it. I'm not worried about it.
You can keep it. All that. We don't want no fake love over here.
It's nothing that I can't stand more than somebody who's going to fake endorse me after they said, oh, Frank, you can't do this. Your dream's not going to come true. Like, I can name 5 people right now who said, the Special Cloth podcast, you're in over your head. You're not going to make it work. It's not going to make nothing. It's not going to make no money. You're not going to have no donations, no support. And then they gonna have a nerve. Look. Where can I watch it at? I got a text message on my phone talking about where can I watch the podcast at?
Adam,
they just want to judge
on your dome.
They just want to judge it.
They just want to judge these hands, boy.
Or talking about congratulations, Frank ate this, Frank ate that. I want you back to order right now. Go ahead and talk to him, bro. That's all I'm saying. Like, to the 6 people who blocked me on Instagram, first of all, you're weird. Weird flex, but okay. That's all I'm saying. Weird flex, but okay. And guess what? Special Cloth talk is going to take off, and y'all going to be mad. Well, how about now? Because I'm up right now. And you're stuck right now. Okay? But anyway, one thing I think is going to help people get out of their own way is just self-accountability, you know? And also, too, to have accountability partners. Have a couple people in your life that will hold you accountable when you're not doing right. I'll give a special shout out to Malaya over there because she decides to keep me accountable when I tell her about things. I say, yo, I got to study today. Can you make sure that I don't be on my phone acting stupid? And she'll call me talking about, Frank, did you study today? And I'll be like, no. And it'll be like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I have a test at 7 a.m. And she's just like, Frank, if you don't study, I'm going to pull up on you, tell your grandma, and slap you across the face. And I'm like, okay, Malaya, I'd like to see you try because I'm about to go to sleep. It's like, nah, that's not really what happens. But I do procrastinate a lot, and Malaya will get on me and will tell me to get off my phone and will curse me out if I don't do assignments like I'm supposed to do. So, I mean, having an accountability partner, because it will keep you like on task. You know what I'm saying? And like with Josh, like Josh gets a shout out for being an accountability partner for the gym, because there's days when I don't want to go. And he's just like, bro, let's go. We going to the gym. I'm like, during free period, bro? Yeah. During free period, bro. Let's go. And, you know, we hit the weights. But, you know, both of us have been lacking in that department, and hopefully we get a good routine going again. But, yeah, so I think that that's really important to have self-accountability and just good time management. How do you guys feel about that?
Go ahead, Malaya. Lean back real quick.
I agree. I think it's important to not only be accountable for yourself, but have people around you who are willing to be accountable for you too. And quick story, how I learned that lesson, and probably the worst way you can learn it is going out, underage drinking, don't do it, people. And underage smoking, don't do it, people. And I have
First off.
I didn't know that was a thing, underage smoking.
If you smoking bogeys at all, you dirty. And I mean that to the bottom of my soul. You are dirty. DIRTY. I'm kind of passionate. But you are dirty. Don't talk to me. Unless you are over the age of 30, when, you know, they might not have all the information that we have now. But you did. You know how I know we did? Because I was in middle school with you, nasty. You're dirty if you smoke bogeys.
Now, I was not smoking, I was smoking weed. But the point of the matter is
illegal. This podcast does not encourage any illegal activities.
I'm trying.
Police are on their way to pick her up.
Anyway, accountability is important because having other people accountable for you. Because listen, a couple things I'm gonna say real quick. Number one, I made sure I had somebody there who's gonna be accountable for me and I was gonna be good. Will I ever do that again? Hell to the no. Number two, I learned something. As a young woman, it's cute to get, you know, a little ratchet, twerk. It's cute to get a little ratchet, twerk, go out, drink and stuff. But you always, and even as a guy, you don't want to be that friend everybody got to worry about. At the same time, you do want to make sure you have friends that are going to worry about you. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, at the same time, be accountable for yourself, too. Like, don't go out acting wild. Don't carry yourself one way one day and one the other. That's not how you earn respect from people. You earn respect by being consistent. Consistency is so important, not only in relationships, but in building yourself. So it's like accountability and consistency to me go hand in hand. You can't be accountable for something one day and not accountable the next.
Talk to him.
So, yeah.
I feel personally attacked, by the way, with that statement, but okay. So how about you, Josh?
You know, personally, I'm just not sure.
So you're not sure if you need somebody to help you be accountable?
Like, it's because, like, I would want somebody there to help me, but, like, they would be blowing myself because I wouldn't be getting my work done. Like, they'd be like, did you get your homework done? Like, no, thanks for the reminder. Like, now I'm going to fail. Like, leave me alone. Like, I'm not sure I'm going to want somebody like that in my life. But, yeah, because it'll be hard to disagree. It'd be hard to disagree with that. To say that somebody needs.
Man down.
Okay, needs a accountability partner to help keep them in check. I feel like everybody needs one, you know? There's really no arguing. You guys made valid points. Or should I try to argue this because...
You're not the devil's advocate, okay? You don't have...
I feel like you don't need one, actually. No, I'm playing. Okay.
Alright, so... How do you guys feel about the crab bucket mentality in the hood? Or translation... Pulling... What the... Okay, so Josh is trapped in the closet.
Shout out R. Kelly.
Shout out.
Well, man, R. Kelly no more.
Yeah, I heard R. Kelly was into some stuff, y'all.
Bro, the sex dungeon stuff is so
sex
weird.
Dungeon and peeing on females and...
Underage girls at that. He said, yo, listen, R. Kelly was just wilding with all that stuff going on. And, like, he's been doing it for years. And I feel like everybody... You know what? Should I get into it, Frank? Should I get into it?
Bro. Get into it.
Y'all wanna listen. This is all I'm gonna say. Y'all wanna yell at and y'all wanna come at Tekashi 6ix9ine, but everybody still bumping R. Kelly. He a pedophile. What R. Kelly do? That's all I'm gonna say. I don't hear nobody slowing their hands down when Bumpy Grind come on. That's all I'm saying. But I'm gonna chill though because you know that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm saying. Captain Holly, part 1, part 5, part 20.
Trap in the Closet was actually pretty good though. I'm not gonna hold you.
Listen, it was good, but you can't support that me. He's a wild one.
Like, have you seen Trapped in the Closet before?
The Family Guy, this shit was mad funny.
If he was staring in the mirror, she yells, honey, let me
Hey,
explain. He said,
a copyright strike. Cut that off. I ain't no problem.
All right, so Josh, how you feel about that boy Shay Sharp?
Huh?
Shannon Sharp. They call that man Shay Sharp.
Uncle Shannon is a cannon.
Uncle Shannon
is a cannon.
Funniest man on sports TV. Gotta say it.
Definitely. But I doubt.
All right, so I'm just gonna give you guys a fast round of solid tips for getting out of your own way, and you could feel free to hit me up personally on social medias, Frank.Frizzy, FRIZZY, anytime. First of all, an essential key to getting out of your own way: 1, do one thing at a time. It's nothing worse than juggling too many things, moving too fast, and everything falling down like dominoes. Forget failure. You can't have success without failure. Yeah, you've heard it before, so why do you worry about failing? Be consistent. Consistency will keep you going. It'll help you maintain hard work and momentum you created by first pulling the trigger. We are what we repeatedly do is something that Aristotle once said. Excellence then is not an action, but a habit. Choose your friends wisely. I cannot stress that one enough. You know the saying you are...
like to say to your friends in the room?
Yeah, I chose y'all pretty wisely. Motherfuckers. You know the saying, you are what you eat. It's also true when it comes to the company that you are with.
Which brings me back to the yellow point. Well, all I be with around somebody who has a little tattooed on their forehead, but go ahead.
Systemize everything. We make over 35,000 decisions on a day-to-day basis on average. Mm-hmm. So make a system so you can have more progress and reflect on your influence. Ask yourself, how does the work that you do affect other people? How about you? You guys have any last closing remarks?
No, I think that was great.
Everybody go cop Feelings. Feelings is just a single for Omar's forthcoming first album, his debut album, I believe. He's a very talented artist. Everybody go check his music out. Very, very talented. And everybody just move forward on this week with a little bit more love. You know what I'm saying? Every day, live with a little bit more love. That's all I gotta say.
I definitely mess with that message. You know, less love, more. Less hate, more love.
He's obviously not with mine.
less hate, more love. You know, everybody, is beautifully and wonderfully made. Mm-hmm. Less stress, and can't wait to see you guys next time.
So glad to be wrong.
Catch y'all next week. Everybody, please.
Now it's impossible.
Please support our Patreon, and donate to the podcast. We love you.
I love too. And you was just too long. Listen, baby.
Feel free to like and share. Subscribe.
Share it on all social media.
Joey Remedy.
I don't know what this guy.